All good.
Yep.
It's just on. But I was telling you,
Well, to be fair, he did something. You know, he did. He did. This is not that condition is not easy. So he was, but there was a period of time where he drifted, and that was not easy. Just especially during periods of time when they were trying to help him breathe. And that this is educational. People just need to be very careful. You don't want to get sure. Did he survive?
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Nah. Okey, حالا یه دونه دیگه دام چیز بکن. یه بار دیگه ریسرچ بکن. آره.
Good. Hey, are we good? 10-11. Who's starting? I'm supposed to start because I have this one. This is the track. Yeah. 11-1. Huh? Right. This is what the track It's got to be about
And cold. You didn't make any, did you?
Huh?
You haven't made yours yet.
No, I haven't even gotten close to the second.
Okay. Yeah.
Testing the microphone.
Starting.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for showing up today to basically appreciate a gentleman unlike any other that I have ever met, and most of us have. I'd like to let you know that this is being streamed around the world. I'd like to thank the other friends for attending remotely. Um, this is very difficult for me when I think about this gentleman, Dr. Donald T. Streets. I just want to say welcome and thank you. All right, start the program.
Glory be to thee, O Lord my God. Abase not him whom thou hast exalted through the power of thine everlasting sovereignty, and remove not far from thee him whom thou hast caused to enter the tabernacle of thine eternity. Wilt thou cast away, O my God, him whom thou hast overshadowed with thy lordship, and wilt thou turn away from thee, O my desire, him to whom thou hast been a refuge? Canst thou degrade him whom thou hast uplifted, or forget him whom thou didst enable to remember thee? Glorified, immensely glorified art thou. Thou art he who from everlasting hath been the king of the entire creation, and its prime mover. And thou wilt to everlasting remain the Lord of all created things, and their ordainer. Glorified art thou, O my God. If thou ceasest to be merciful unto thy servants, who then will show mercy unto them? And if thou refusest to succor thy loved ones, who is there that can succor them? Glorified, immeasurably glorified art thou. Thou art adored in thy truth, and thee do we all verily worship. And thou art manifest in thy justice, and to thee do we all verily bear witness. Thou art in truth beloved in thy grace. No God is there but thee, the help in peril, the self-subsisting. Baha'u'llah.
والا ای خداوند منان، بنده آستان از این جهان به جهان پنهان شتافت. در ایام زندگانی از هر آلودگی پاک و مبرا و طیب و طاهر و روشن و باهر به خدمت قائم بر میثاق ثابت بود. در ملکوت ابرهایت وارد و به ملأ اعلی مؤانس فرما. علو درجات بخش و سمو مقامات شادمان فرما. در افق تقدیس نجم ساطع کن و در انجمن بالا شمع لامع فرما. ای ای
He is God, exalted is He, the Lord of loving kindness and bounty. Glory be unto Thee, Thou, O my God, the Lord omnipotent. I testify to Thine omnipotence and Thy might, Thy sovereignty and Thy loving kindness, Thy grace and Thy power, the oneness of Thy being and the unity of Thine essence, Thy sanctity and exaltation above the world of being and all that is therein. O my God, Thou seest me detached from all save Thee, holding fast unto Thee, and turning unto the ocean of Thy bounty, to the heaven of Thy favor, to the day star of Thy grace. Lord, I bear witness that in Thy servant Thou hast reposed Thy trust, and that is the Spirit wherewith Thou hast given life to the world. I ask of Thee by the splendor of the orb of Thy revelation, mercifully to accept from him that which he hath achieved in Thy days. Grant then that he may be invested with the glory of Thy good pleasure, and adorned with Thine acceptance. O my Lord, I myself and all created things bear witness unto Thy might, and I pray Thee not to turn away from Thyself the Spirit that hath ascended unto Thee, unto Thy heavenly place, Thine exalted paradise, and Thy retreats of nearness, O Thou who art the Lord of all men. Grant then, O my God, that Thy servant may consort with Thy chosen ones, Thy saints and Thy messengers in heavenly places, that the pen cannot tell, nor the tongue recount. O my Lord, the poor one hath verily hastened unto the kingdom of Thy wealth, the stranger unto his home within Thy presence. He that is sore athirst to the heavenly river of Thy bounty. Deprive him not, O Lord, from his share of the banquet of Thy grace, and from the favor of Thy bounty. Thou art in truth the Almighty, the gracious, the all-bountiful. O my God, Thy trust hath been returned unto Thee. It behoveth Thy grace and Thy bounty that have compassed Thy dominions on earth and in heaven, to vouchsafe unto Thy newly welcomed one Thy gifts and Thy bestowals, and the fruits of the tree of Thy grace. Powerful art Thou to do as Thou willest. There is none other God but Thee, the gracious, the most bountiful, the compassionate, the bestower, the pardoner, the precious, the all-knowing. I testify, O my Lord, that Thou hast enjoined upon men to honor their guest, and he that hath ascended unto Thee hath verily reached Thee and attained Thy presence. Deal with him then according to Thy grace and bounty. By Thy glory I know of a certainty that Thou wilt not withhold Thyself from that which Thou hast commanded Thy servants, nor wilt Thou deprive him that hath clung to the cord of Thy bounty, and hath ascended to the day star, to the day spring of Thy wealth. There is none other God but Thee, the one, the single, the powerful, the omniscient, the bountiful. Baha'u'llah.
Grant, O my Lord, sorry. Grant, O my Lord, that they who have ascended unto thee may repair unto him who is the most exalted companion, and abide beneath the shadows of the tabernacle of thy majesty and the sanctuary of thy glory. Sprinkle, O my Lord, upon them from the oceans of thy forgiveness what will make them worthy to abide so long as thine own sovereignty endureth within thy most exalted kingdom, and thine all highest dominion. Potent art thou to do what pleaseth thee. Baha'u'llah.
We all verily worship God. 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 Allow apa. We all verily bow down before God. 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 Allow apa. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God.
We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. We all verily are devoted unto God. Allow a pause. We all verily give praise unto God. 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 We being around fellow educators and teachers. And he loved being around people who use their brains and really knew how to think and express themselves. He was attracted to those people. He'd say it to me all the time when he was talking about somebody. He would say, Ramin, you really like this person. They have a brain. And now I think his contribution to the NISA model of education is by now pretty well established and known. So I won't elaborate on it here because in truth, it's just not in my wheelhouse. It was his wheelhouse. But I have to say, my hope is that as years pass and our collective cultures start again to place a higher value on education, that his body of work will find its place in the firmament. He and I, in more recent years, would talk at length about the importance of leaving behind a body of work. And for me, it's always been songs, both written and recorded. That's my passion. But for him, it was his papers on education. And in recent years, he really started to cultivate that more and to get the work into the right hands. As a father, let me just say this. We should all be so lucky to have a dad like him. My earliest childhood memories go back to the early 70s in Shutesbury, Massachusetts. And Dad was such a fan of anything Scandinavian that, of course, he owned a Saab. And wherever he drove our family in that car, the old 8-track cassette player always seemed to rotate around Rachmaninoff, Chopin, Debussy, and of course, the Peer Gynt suites by Edvard Grieg. What a gift. To hear that music at that age means to have some of the most beautiful memories ever written wafting its way in and out of your consciousness pretty much for life. And that's not bad. Any interests we had growing up, music, in my brother's case, sports, were supported completely. Piano lessons, guitar lessons, drum lessons, tennis, baseball, and he was there for all of that. He stewarded us into college, driving me from Escondido to Irvine, California late on a weeknight for the piano trials that ultimately got me into university. And we traveled a lot. My father took our family all over the world. He opened our eyes and broadened our perspectives on life and people that we otherwise would never know. And for me, that broadening of perspective, that curiosity, continues up to this very moment.
You see, when you've known someone and engaged in long, thoughtful conversations with that person for decades, I think that person really starts to live in your head a little bit. You know how they would feel or what they would have to say about almost anything. The conversation still continues. And for me, this is what will make his physical absence bearable. Dad used to like quoting Alfred North Whitehead a lot, and as well as The Little Prince, the book The Little Prince. So I will close my comments with both. You know, there's a quote from Whitehead where he says, "From the very beginning of education, the child should experience the joy of discovery." And I think that was in Dad's DNA, and I know he imparted that to his children. My guess is he also imparted that concept to his colleagues and friends throughout the world, all the days of his life. Take joy in your learning. From The Little Prince, it's not a quote, it's more of a portion in the book where a conversation unfolds between the prince and the fox. And the prince asks the fox to come play with him. And the fox replies, "I can't because I am not tamed." And the prince asks, "What does tamed mean?" And the fox replies, "It means to create ties, to need each other. Instead of merely being one of the countless many, rather you are the only one." Creating ties. Dad was good at that. I want to thank everybody again for coming. We're going to lower the casket now, and then I believe you're going to be handed flowers that you can put into the casket. And that will close out our ceremony. Thank you.
Friends, while they're lowering the casket, I just wanted to remind some people that didn't know about it. We're going to have more of a casual ceremony over at Wildflower, which is a place that Don loves. So we have a room reserved. It's a private room, and if anyone would like to join, we'd be more than happy. It's the one on Indian Bend and Scottsdale Road. Yeah, across from the train.
And that's right now.
Yeah, right after.
It's a blessing to have the brain. Yes. And that's I know. Yeah. Absolutely.
I hurt my back.
I stopped it.
That's okay. I think I hurt my back.
Oh. Is she in her home or is she in a? Okay. Okay. Yes, I know where that is. Yeah. Yeah. Bless her heart. And I don't. Is she the? I'm trying to think. Did she do programs around like Scottsdale Unified, like speak to the schools at times and everything? Yeah. I mean, all over the world, yes.
She could.
Yes. Because I think there was a time my son was, when he was like in 5th or 6th grade, she took him to like school. It was well, it was one of the Great Heart schools, Cicero, maybe. Yeah. Oh, nice to meet you both. Yes. Yeah, but I'm so glad that you were able to come. I know it means a lot to others.
It was a special girl.
I love your, I keep noticing your eyes.
I love that.
How are you?
To meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Tried so hard
I
to
spent so much
understand the
time with
French.
Gerda.
That's enough, and then I told you I
I got about 40% of what you said.
I
I should know 100%.
Oh, yeah.
written right.
The French, yeah.